what happens that the Britishers used to call us inferior. The Britishers used to call us inferior in terms of history, that you were पेस्चरर, मतलब तुम चराने वाले थे और भीख मांगते रहते थे, भिक्षांदेही, तो इस तरीके से वो हमें चिढ़ाते रहते थे, मतलब तो they used to ill treat us and they used to taunt us. Okay, they used to create the taunt on us. So in this way they used to create many uh, disputes among us. Indus tributaries and Saraswati also named Ganga, Yamuna named once. Indus tributaries and Saraswati also named. So in Rig Veda, there is the description about Indus tributaries, and Saraswati also. So Saraswati के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा जिक्र है in Rig Veda, but at the present time period we don't found any river as Saraswati river. We don't found any river as Saraswati river. Okay, that's why Saraswati is considered to be as very important, because if something has been written in any document, then it must be having some of the places where it originates. Okay, Ganga Yamuna named once. Ganga Yamuna, they were named once and never changed. Prayers were for cattle children. Prayers for cattle children and horses. Horses were yoked to chariots for battles. Okay, in the I will like to link it. मतलब ऋग्वेदा को मैं थोड़ा सा लिंक करता हूँ इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन से. In the time of Indus Valley civilization, what happens that they didn't even know about how to rear the horses, how to make horses pet animals. So they didn't know how to make horses their pet animals. But in Rigvedic civilization, what we see that they used to ride the horses. Means the horses were now in control of Rigvedic civilization. But in Indus Valley civilization, what we see that they were not able to control horses. But at the end of in Mohenjo-daro, that is known as Mound of Dead, where many of the dead bodies are founded over there. There we found that one of the remains of horses were also there. So at the end of their dynasty, so it was considered that they must have some dispute with Aryans. They must have some of the disputes with Aryans. The only proof of the dispute with Aryan is that they founded horses at the end of their civilization. Means archaeologists founded horses at the end of the Indus Valley civilization. At the end of the Indus Valley civilization, the archaeologists founded horses. Battles were fought for cattle. So in Rig Veda, the economy runs on the basis of cow. The economy runs on the basis of cow. Those who are having 6,000 cow, they were considered to be as kings. Okay, those who reared the cow, means each and everything was related to cow, nothing else. Means the whole economy was run on the basis of cows. Cattle, land for pasture and hardy crops. Land for pasture means cattle. Okay, means pasture means cattle. Pasture कौन करता है? Cattle. Okay, hardy crops means from the crops from which the milk is bleached. Okay, the milk is produced at a very high amount. Hardy crops. Water, capture people. Okay, water or capture people. So water is always important, as you know. Capture people. The wealth thus obtained was divided into leaders, priests, and people. Leaders, priests, and people, and was kept for yajnas. Yajnas means yajna, and sacrifices. Okay. At this time period, there was no, मतलब कुछ भी मनगढ़ंत बातें as such नहीं थी. Women were treated equally at this time period of Rig Veda. Okay, everyone was having their equal rights. All all was that who reared the animals and who cultivated their field very well. So whoever was the best farmer at this time period was considered to be as a king. Just remember it. Whoever worked very well on the field, ground field, and they begin to increase their cattle, number of cattle, then they become the rich. Not just like Amazon ने एक कंपनी खोली और वो रातों रात करोड़पति बन गए. So उस टाइम पे ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि हर कोई each and every person used to work on the field. If they work on the field very well, then they obtain the cattle as much as possible, and only then they become the rich. That's why the Rigvedic civilization was very high, very was of very high standards. Was of very high standards. Okay. So in yajnas, what we offer: ghee, grain, and animals. Ghee, grain, and animals. So in this way, you can cut animals now because the government has removed the animals, that sacrifices were not there. So the government has removed offerings of animals. So you can only remember ghee and grain. Most men took part in wars. So the wars were fought on the basis of cattle. So if someone kidnapped someone else's cattle, means किसी न किसी गाय चुरा ली, तो आधा हमसे युद्ध लड़ ले. या फिर किसी को किसी की गाय कैप्चर करनी है, मतलब cow, they want to capture the number of cows and increase their power in the society, then also they used to fight the war. So the war was only for cow. At that time, in the time period of Rigveda, there was nothing in the economy. The only economic factor was cow, nothing else. So discussion over meetings, warrior becomes leader. Warrior becomes leader. So whoever was the better warrior, they always become the great leader. बिकॉज इस टाइम पे ब्रेन का तो इतना ज्यादा इस्तेमाल होता नहीं था कि भाई वी आर यूटिलाइजिंग द ब्रेन फॉर education purpose. All was that herding and occupying the cattle as much as possible and increase your territory as much as possible. Words for people. People described on the basis of language, profession, priest, profession on language के basis पे and profession के basis पे. On the basis of profession, priest and raja, priests and raja. No cities, places, taxes, armies, taxes, nor hereditary rights. So there was no hereditary rights. Means the बाप का बेटा राजा नहीं बन सकता था. So you can imagine how good the culture was. How good the culture was in the time of Rigveda. So there is no culture of hereditary. So whoever has the guts, whoever has the rights, they can occupy any field. They can do any work of their wish. Okay. Family, community. Puru, Yadu, Bharata. Puru, Yadu, Bharata. Vana, a small tribe. Vana, a small tribe, and Vish, a group of a small tribe. A group of tribes. So Vana get combines and then it forms Vish. Vana get combines and then it forms Vish. So there was tribal culture. Okay. There was only tribal culture in the Rigvedic civilization. Cultural practices. So they used to perform cultural practices, many of the Aryas and Dasyus. As I've explained you, Das and Dasyus. So Aryas and Dasyus were there. Okay. Burials. Megaliths, silent and sentinels. Megaliths, silent and sentinels. Marked burials, sites started around 1000 BC, found in Deccan, South India, Northeast and Kashmir. Northeast and Kashmir. On the surface of underground, circle of stones or singles. Circle of stones or singles. So megaliths means their monuments, how they used to build their monuments and other things, idols. Okay, Brahmagiri, Adich Mallu, and Inamgaon. So these are the important name of megaliths: Brahmagiri, Adicha Mallu, Inamgaon, Inamgaon. Found in Deccan, South India, Northeast and Kashmir. Northeast and Kashmir, on the surface of underground, on the surface or underground, circle of stones or singles. Circle of stones or singles. Common features. What were the common features? Distinct pots, black and red ware, black and red ware, tools and weapons of iron. So in the Indus Valley civilization, as I've told you, they were able to find many of the metals, just like bronze and bronze, silver, gold, and copper. They founded majority of the metals, but at that time period, the iron was not known. That's why the cultivation was not a big factor for them. Okay, that's why cultivation was not a big factor for them. They used to cultivate through wooden plow, wooden plow. Skeleton of horses, skeleton of horses, horse equipments, horse equipments, ornaments of stone and gold, ornaments of stone and gold. Ornaments of stone and gold. Infrared, social differences, inequalities. So there was no as such social differences and inequalities. Spot for certain families. More than one skeleton brought through potholes. Stone circles acted as a signpost. Stone circles acted as a signpost. So whatever the sign, uh, stone circles used to determine them. Inamgaon, site at river Ghod, site at river Ghod. So skeleton of horses का यहाँ पे आप मतलब क्या समझते हो कि skeleton, why they are saying that skeleton of horses were found. In this way we come to know that they must have fought wars. Okay, they must have fought wars. They are the proof of wars. Horses are the proof of wars. Okay. Inamgaon, site at river Ghod, site at river Ghod. So these things I think no one has read before, and they are completely from NCERT. Not even a single word is from me. They are completely from NCERT, nothing else. I am not saying a single word from outside, because today we have seen the result. All the aspirants in their interviews have said that nothing comes beyond NCERT. Okay, nothing comes beyond NCERT because NCERT is boring to read. That's why all of them say that why should we study NCERT of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th? Because NCERT are important, and even the IAS topper said that I have read only NCERT. I have read NCERT again and again of history, geography, and polity. Polity requires some of the things, but history and geography completely I have read from NCERT. Okay, and whatever is coming in the current affairs. So I keep on updating myself from the current affairs. Otherwise, there is no extra need required to go to that book, to go to this book. So you need to understand that NCERT is important because each and every word of NCERT will be there in your exam sheet. In your prelims paper, definitely each and every word will be directly from NCERT. Okay, around 700 BC to 1500 BC. Adults with head towards south. adults with head towards south. So these are the questions that are being asked by UPSC. They won't ask you the dates. They won't ask you what place. Okay, they will ask you some of the cultural things. Cultural things, because Rig Veda is all about culture. So they will ask you how the culture was. So adults with head towards the south, head towards the south, because we consider that south is a magnetic magnetic pole. Okay, magnetic pole. That's why we just put the body in south north latitudes. Okay, south north, south south pole and the north pole. Burial within houses. So I think majority of your family, in your family, your mother or either your grandmother must have said that never sleep from south, in the south direction. In the south direction, never sleeps, because south to north direction is always considered the direction for the dead bodies. Okay, south to north direction is considered for the dead bodies. Okay, if you are a living organism, then you should sleep, in what, east to west direction or west to east direction. Give me one second. Burial within houses, vessels with food and water, vessels with food and water. So if you are seeing that burial within the houses are happening, so it must be possible that they must have suffered from any kind of pandemic. Okay, any kind of pandemic they must have suffered, because vessels of food and water, and burial within the houses is done at that time period only when there is pandemic and someone is suffering from uh, a disease that cannot be cured, just like COVID-19 in this time period. Same was seen in this time period, wherever south to north magnetic poles used to direct them. Okay, magnetic poles, they considered that the disease will not spread if the bodies are put in north to south direction. The disease will not spread. That's what we come to know about Rig Veda. Okay, in Rig Veda there are many of the medicines also given about the pandemics. Okay, burial within the houses, vessels with food and water. That's the only motive. Okay, I will let you know that it is the only motive that why we study about history. We study about history because we learn many things from our past. Because we learn many things from our past. If we are not having solutions at present time period, then we must look in the Rigvedic civilization. We should go, because everything repeat itself. Everything keep on repeating itself. If a pandemic has occurred, it must have occurred a few hundred to 500 to 1,000 years back. Okay, so we should always keep on checking. We should always have a keep on check. Whatever has happened in our past, we should not repeat that mistake. We should never repeat that mistake. Whatever we have done in past, it is a past, but we should learn from it, and we should not give a damn about it. Whatever happens in the past, just leave it at that place, but always learn that if we have done any mistake or not. And if not, then we should move towards the next generation. One man in large four-leg clay pot in cross-legged position. In cross-legged position inside house. Cross-legged position inside house with 5 rooms and a granary So granary, as you all must have seen in this time of lockdown, the granary has become the major requirement of each and every house. The granary has become the major requirement of each and every houses, as cannot guess at what time period what happens to you outside of your house. Houses are built just to remain inside. Okay, just to remain inside. and survive for approximately, you should have a survival rate of 6 months. You should always have a survival rate of 6 months, and always try to make kitchen gardens, okay, such that your survival rate becomes higher than as compared to others. 5 rooms and a granary. Inside, 4 leg clay pot, 4 leg clay pot on the cross-legged position inside house with 5 rooms and a granary. Inamgaon occupation. Seeds of wheat, barley, rice, pulses, sesame. Seeds of wheat, barley, rice, pulses, sesame. Bones bearing cut marks of cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, dog, horse. Okay, cattle में bones किस किस की मिली है cut marks वाली? Cattle S and crocodile S, cattle S and crocodile, buffalo, pig and crab, buffalo, pig and crab, sheep, deer and fish, goat, black bug and birds, dog, antelope, horse and mongoose. So all the meat of these varieties are seen in the time of in Inamgaon occupation. Are seen in Inamgaon occupations. Inamgaon occupation में हमने इन सब का मीट देखा है, but we will have to cut this word cattle, because this word has been cutted down from the NCERT by our government. Okay, so never create the disputes, because Goshti was known as the meat at that time period, but now this word has removed, so never include this word. Okay. Fruits: bear, amla, jamun, dates, berries. In China, around 1500 BC, evidence of writing on animals' bones called oracle bones. In China, oracle bones was founded in 1500 BC. Okay. What were the fruits in Inamgaon occupations? Bear, amla, jamun, dates, and berries. So that's all for the day. Next class will start at 10:10. 10:10. Okay, 10 p.m. 10:10 पे. So we will start from kingdoms, kings, and early republics. Okay, from this we will start tomorrow. So join me sharp at 10:10.